goes to our cat Morsik because she can't eat vegetables. Usually we eat tomatoes, cucumbers, but today we're short. Payday isn't until next Thursday.
Viktor is an avid sports fan and used to attend many of the games of his beloved local soccer team. Now he can only afford to watch them on television. In communist times, every year, Anastasia went to summer camp. This year, she must play in the streets. Her parents can no longer afford the fast-rising fees. They worry about Sergei. He studies hard, but at age 16, naturally, he also wants to spend more and more time out on the town with his friends. The streets of Moscow and other Russian cities are not as safe as they were under communism. On the streets, Volodya Yakovlev is every parent's nightmare. He worked with two of his brothers, begging or stealing money from drivers and pedestrians. Often what they got was taken from them by bigger boys. They lived a wild life, a dangerous life, a life filled with envy for what foreigners and rich Russians could afford, and they could not. It was a life of petty crime in Volodya's case until one night last February. In this pedestrian underpass on that night, Volodya and his brothers attacked an elderly drunk. When he refused to give them money and cursed their mother, they beat him to death. The next day, Volodya and his brothers were arrested. "Did you take part in the murder?" the policewoman asked.
No.
"Yes," he said. "He cursed our mother," Volodya told her, "so I ran up to him and said, 'Stop cursing our mother.' Then Vitya started throwing stones at him, and Andrei too." As a minor, under age 14, 10-year-old Volodya could not be held for long for the crime. He spent a little time in a juvenile detention center, but was soon released, back onto Moscow's mean streets. In the new Russia, Konstantin Borovoi is one of the winners. Founder of the first Russian stock market, he has already made his first fortune. Now he has even bigger dreams. Borovoi is on the board of a part of the old Soviet military-industrial complex, the factory that built the Russian space shuttles. These are the mock-up vehicles for training Russian cosmonauts. Nowadays, the program is gathering dust. The government has no money for such luxuries. You dream big dreams, Mr. Borovoi. I mean, look at the scale of this thing. You want to privatize the Russian space program.
It would be very profitable for Russia if we would privatize Russian aerospace program, because in government conditions it cannot work.
Konstantin Borovoi shares a pleasant Moscow apartment with his wife and daughter. It is full of the latest Western electronic gear. He adores his daughter Lena and can afford to indulge her. She has, for example, 52 Barbie dolls. But though his lifestyle is not particularly extravagant by American standards, Borovoi's success in today's unruly Russia means that he must live in fear. At the office, his secretary plays a double role. She is also an armed bodyguard. There have been several attempts on his life. Are you an optimist about Russia?
I'm very pessimistic about Russia. That's why I'm working so hard.
Rich or poor, honest or not, everyone here is finding that this nation's chaotic lurch from communism towards capitalism makes life unpredictable and often difficult. But don't count out the Russians. This formidable people have faced terrible hardships many times in their history and risen above them. Many people here are well-educated, highly motivated, and deeply patriotic. Sergei Ekushevich wants to be a lawyer one day. His sister Anastasia hopes for an acting career. Their parents' generation are prepared to sacrifice pretty much whatever it takes, so that the next generation of Russians will have a better life.
Here's a typical weekend scene, food shopping. Marketplaces like this one are scattered all around the city. Here, residents can buy fresh fruit and vegetables. These days, bananas are all the rage.